Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. And 20 years ago, more than that actually, I was a divorce mediator, which is on the other side of helping marriages, isn't it? But I saw the light, and I saw that the approach that was taken by Western psychology, the normal, what we expect from couples counseling and marriage therapy, they really don't understand marriage because they don't understand that marriage is spiritual. Love is spiritual. And we get married for love. We get married for happiness. Happiness is spiritual too. You can't quantify it. You can't put it in a bottle. It's not material, so it's spiritual. So this topic is very interesting. How to deal with a control freak husband. Now, hopefully you're already a subscriber, but let's get into this. How to deal with a control freak husband. First, I got to tell you, you wouldn't believe how many men write into us at the Marriage Foundation with the same question about their wives. And it's a very interesting thing, isn't it? Because you married your soulmate. So let's just put aside that it is anti-marriage to criticize your spouse. It's anti-marriage. It undermines the love, the confidence, the connection that you seek in marriage. All that's undermined by criticism and condemnation and judgment. And even this topic, it labels your husband. And let's be fair. Maybe he has some tendencies where he likes to get involved, and it bothers you that he's getting into your space. So let's, instead of calling this what to do about a control freak husband, let's do something where you have some control over it, because you're not going to change your husband. You have control over your own mind. So his behavior, you can say, and you could call it his insistent on participating in everything, okay? And that behavior is triggering you. So let's look at it from that point of view, and let's ask the question, what do I do because I'm sensitive to my husband's involvement in everything that I do? And obviously it's not everything that you do, but we can call it that. Now here's the thing about the mind. The mind is your best friend when you have mastered it, when you have learned to control it. And if you were to take our course for women, that's the very first thing that we teach you, is how to master your mind. Because that's the source of all the problems, all the suffering, is in how the mind is interpreting. And that's the important thing here. How the mind is interpreting what it's learning from the outside. In other words, the information that comes in. You've heard of super positive people. You've heard and probably know some super negative people. And what that is really describing is something that we never think about, because we're not taught about how the mind works. But the mind is like a computer. So it's bringing in information. Literally, energy is going out. Then it's coming back through the eyes, the ears, the five senses. And then what happens is, out of habit, we've turned everything over to our habits, which we shouldn't do. And our habits will tell us what we see, what we hear, and then it will interpret that information into how we should see it, how we should regard it in relationship to us, the soul? No. To us, the ego. And we don't learn these things in school because everyone's afraid of, oh, it's spiritual. They're trying to shove religion down my throat. No, this isn't about religion. It's about what's real. We are souls. Basically, we don't have a soul. You are a soul. I am a soul. What we have is we have a body. You don't say, my body is me. And we also have the mind. And we have to learn to stop seeing the mind as I. And so what it is, you've heard the term ego, and Western psychology has really screwed that up. The ego is the false soul. It is the us who isn't us. It's the us that we have become through sort of a combining of, which we're not supposed to do, combining of our mind's qualities, which a lot of it is fear, which it derives from the body, etc., with the soul. But you are a soul. So when you start to understand this, that you are a soul, and you have a body, and you have a mind, it changes everything. It changes how you see life. It changes how you see others. It especially changes how you see your husband, because you married him in order to be happier in your life, right? And you're supposed to be. Every single day is supposed to be happier than the day before. And you're supposed to experience, meaning learn, how to love unconditionally. So you feel the love with your soulmate. That's what it's all about. But we're not taught these things. So what do you do about a control freak husband? You love him. You look past this. You know, I used to do this when I was meeting with people live in my office. It's 20 years ago, but still it's valid even today. And I would diagram the mind. I would show how things work using a whiteboard. And my whiteboard was big because I like to go all over the place, 4 by 8. And what I would do is I would put 7 dots, black dots, on the whiteboard. And I would ask, what do you see? Everyone, naturally, kind of a trick. I knew I was pulling a trick, but it's really illustrative. I said, what do you see? They all said 7 dots. Some of them were anticipating, okay, what's the trick here? As if it were a Facebook quiz or something, and it wasn't. And I said, okay, so here we have 4 feet by 8 feet, 32 square feet of white. But where did your mind go? Right away, it went to the black dots. And this is what happens with our minds, how our mind ruins our day. Because we go to the negative instead of looking at your husband as this incredible human being who you married with the vow to love, the vow to appreciate, support through sickness and health and all of that. And now you're seeing one of the black dots. He isn't perfect. So what you do is you learn 2 things. 1, how to master your mind. But 2, how to live more in yourself, your soul, your heart, so that you can give him all the love that you originally promised him. Don't worry about it. If others call him a control freak, if your mind calls him a control freak, put it out of your mind. Focus on the love. Focus on the appreciation, the gratitude, all of the good qualities. So I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Hopefully you'll subscribe. Hopefully you will like this video. And hopefully you will visit again. God bless you and take care.